Great morning, everyone. I hope you are having a fantastic, fabulous Wednesday. It's hump day. So I'm just reaching out this morning to share a little word. Excuse me, I've been having a froggy throat all morning, so I may have to clear my throat a few times throughout this particular recording this morning. So please tell me good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day you may be watching this video. Just a very enlightening lesson this morning, and excuse me, also just something to help me understand that I've done right by my children. Today's lesson is the Covenant of Motherhood. The Covenant of Motherhood. And if there's some dads out there that are, playing the role as moms too, then this applies to you as well. But it comes from 1 Samuel, the first chapter and the 11th verse. And it reads, "Then she made a vow and said," and she in this case is referencing Hannah. So if you have a moment to read the story of Hannah in the Bible, please do so. Made a vow and said, "O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me, and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a male child, then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life, and no razor shall come upon his head." Wow, this lesson really, brought back some great memories for me as I planned the christening ceremonies for both of my children. When they were born, I immediately said, okay, next step is the christening, because I want God to understand that I know I have to give these children back to him. He chose me to be their mother, their earthly mother, to see them through, and also chose their earthly father. So it's just an amazing, wonderful memories that I have of the entire christening. My daughters especially, because I went all out. We had ceremony planned afterwards. Family came from all over the place, and it was just fantastic. We both had, both children had their own little ceremonies afterwards, to where we celebrated giving them back to Christ. So I've always made a big deal of birthdays and christenings and things like that, because those are important points in time that, deserve to be celebrated. But, and I apologize for my throat this morning. Many mothers don't let go. Don't let go. And I'll be the first to admit, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. When we see our babies growing up, and, we still want to be there for them, and, coddle them in many cases, and fix everything, because that's what we did when they were little. Well, we have to cut the apron string at some point. My children are getting ready to be, in July, 15 and 16 years old. Oh my God. Where did the time go? There's so many days that I have now that I just wish I could go back in time and just hold them as babies for just a little while, and then, fast forward back to right where we are, because I'm looking forward to being an empty nester, I think. I'm not so sure about that, because Jaden's going to be gone away, and Ashlyn, for a spring break. And it's going to be a whole week that I won't have them, or they won't be anywhere around me where that I can get to them very quickly. So I'm feeling some kind of way about that. But anyway, I know that, the time is coming where they will be done with high school very soon and off to college. But what I found interesting here in the passage this morning, it states, the greatest tragedy is that many mothers end up with resentful children who feel smothered and angry because they are made to feel guilty for growing up. Wow. And then I had to stop and think for a minute. There are some mothers that I know that have done just that. At one point, gosh, my mom, we clash a lot because I just need for her to understand, Mother, I'm 48. I got this. I have my own home, my own children. And by the way, these are my kids. So we have those rounds, but God bless her, because something just happens to people when they become grandparents. I don't understand it. And I'm hoping not to find that out for quite some time. So, but don't ever smother your kids so much that they get angry and resentful towards you. I know my daughter and I have had lots of issues, and she now lives with her dad, which is wasn't the best choice for her, but I had to allow her to go through that process and understand what was truly good for her. Was it good for her social life? Yeah. Not so good for her grades, not so good for a whole lot of things relative to her well-being. But some children, we have to understand, they're going to take the hard road. So I had to allow that to happen. Was it the easiest thing to do? Absolutely not. I lost several days of sleep, cried, did all of that. But I understood that she was covered, and I gave her back to God when she was born. So I was like, she's covered. Why am I up at night stressed and worried about what may happen to her? God's got her. God's got her. So I had to let go, and it was not the easiest thing in the world to do. I was just absolutely devastated because we've always had a very good relationship. But there are things that transpire in families sometimes that are out of our control. And we just have to, press forward. And then you learn some lessons. Going back to my mother again, there's certain things that I can't tell her. There are certain things that I can't say. There's certain things I can't do. And she find out about it because it gets blown to kingdom come. And then it's not fixable. So, don't become one of those kind of parents either, where your child is running from you because they just don't want you to ask those 50 questions. And then looking for answers only so that you can go back and stir up some stuff. But God bless her. I love her anyway. She's my mother. And I love her. So, but just allow your children, they start out as these, beautiful caterpillars. And then they blossom into beautiful butterflies. We have to let them fly. We have to allow them to fly and to experience things on their own. Hey, I made mistakes along the way when I was their age, and I turned out okay. So sometimes you just have to allow your child to go through. Look at Mary, the mother of Jesus. My God, can you imagine? But she had to allow that process to take place. She understood what was happening and was right there. Even at the end, only 33 years young, right there with him. So mothers or fathers in the role of mother and father, God bless you all in this day. Recognize that just because we allow our children to blossom and to be, then that respect level is still required. It is a requirement, but we can allow them to breathe and to experience things on their own. So that's all I wanted to share today. Read the story of Hannah. It's a beautiful one, giving tribute to all mothers, but to understand that we have to allow them to spread their wings, let our babies go, let them grow up and not feel guilty about growing up because mom is going to be left alone or because mom doesn't have anything else going on in her life, and you've latched on to the point where that child feels so responsible for you. Don't do that. Don't smother them that way, because it will truly drive a wedge between you and your baby that will grow up into an adult, but will always be your baby in your heart. Remember that. All right, everybody, have a wonderfully blessed Wednesday. Go out, be a boss, because that's exactly what I plan on doing this day. Bossing up and taking it to the next level. And you know what? Hey, I'll soon to be an empty nester. I need to be figuring out what it is that I'm going to be doing with my time. Of course, now my time is very limited. So, you know what? I just need to make sure that it continues to go in that direction so that I stay busy and not become meddlesome in my children's lives. I'll always be a mother, first and foremost, but not to a place where it drives a wedge between me and my babies, always in my heart. All right, everybody, have a fantastic day. Remember to feed all three: mind, body, spirit, and focus on whatever it is that's going to take you to the next level. Remember, if you're older, please share this message with a younger young lady that it is so critically important that she give her child back to Christ. Have a good one, everybody.